All right, you guys, I'm Sandra D, the main event. Welcome to my channel. Today, we're still on the journey of talking about the narcissist. So we will not be talking about hair and we will not be talking about food. We are going to be talking about the narcissist. Okay, so now I got a question on my channel, and I was going through the comments, and I appreciate all the comments that you guys have left. But there was a couple that actually caught my attention, and I did make sure I addressed them. But this one particularly caught my attention because it's a subject that I wanted to talk about, and I just really felt like God was giving me a confirmation to go ahead and do this video. And I wanted to make sure that I reached out to the young lady who sent it. Okay. Her tag name is Living Under God's Grace. Okay. Now, she asked a question about the supply. And I am so glad that she asked that question. So what I'm going to do is make sure that I get into the supply, but also I want to talk about the love bombing and how that sets up for the supply. But also, before I get started, I also want to let you guys know that she is writing a book. I do not know when it's coming out, but when it does come out, give her some love and some support, okay? Because we can all learn from each other. All right. So now let's talk about the love bombing, and that's what's going to get into answering the question about the supply, the new supply, okay? Now, when a narcissist met you, you already know, we're going to do this recap. When the narcissist met you, they already had a little bit of intel about you, okay? Because they was watching you from afar. So when they met you, okay, they had to play from the 5 Heartbeats Shy Brother. Now, what that Shy Brother means is it's a role playing game that some men and sometimes women, you can call it Shy Sister too, do in order to be able to have someone play as their wingman or wing woman to help them to get the goal of getting the man or the woman that they want to be introduced to, so that they can talk to them and see, if they can make a love connection, if you will, when it's used in a positive way. When it's used in a negative way, it's a way of like, if y'all remember Martin and Tommy was on there and he was like, got them draws, dog. It can be used for that. Okay, so I just want to make sure that I put that out there so you guys understand some of these games that's being played. You have a good version and you have the bad version, okay? But I'm just going to give it to you straight. So what they'll do is they'll play Shy Brother. Now, sometimes it'll be somebody that'll introduce you to the narcissist, but you don't know that they're a narcissist. And sometimes they'll come to you themselves, but they play that little timid, shy role, so you can't tell, you know what I'm saying, that they are threats, that their intentions ain't no good, okay? They gonna come in that kind of way so that your guard can come down, so that you can be more open to receive conversation with this person who appears to be non-threatening, okay? So what they'll do is they'll strike up a conversation. Okay. Now you got to remember, when you're striking up this conversation, this is pretty much your love bombing stage. Okay. This is your interview, because they need to interview and get you to open up to get intel about you so that they can understand how they can manipulate you. Okay. So this is the part of the love bombing. So what they'll do is they'll love bomb you. They'll act like they're really good listeners, and they are good listeners, but they listening to you only because they want to be able to con you. Okay. So what they do is they filling in the blanks of the things that they can understand that you don't like, but also get the information that you do like, because they're going to use both what you like and what you don't like. Okay. Because they know what triggers you in a good way and in a bad way, because they want to work on them emotions. So you got to make sure that you are aware of, before you go spilling the tea, that you guard what you need to say until you get to really know a person, so that you can understand their angle, if they have an angle. Okay. You got to be able to weed out the bad apples. Okay. So what happens in that stage is, Once they find out all the good things and wonderful things that you like, they're going to become what you described that you wanted. Okay? So that they can fulfill that need to get you to be comfortable, but also for you to depend on them, because this is something you told them that you were missing. So they're going to fill that role. They're going to play that part. They're going to act the hell out of that part. Okay? Now, after they finish doing what you told them that you liked, then you're going to start seeing the things that's truly about who they are, but the things that you told them that you don't like. Okay? But before we get into that part, this is where we're going to slide on in regards to supply. So now when you're in that love bombing stage, that's a setup to get you into position, to get you hooked, to get you codependent, to get you, in a position to where you have reasonable doubt that they would ever do anything to you to hurt you. Because at this point, you feel like you can trust them. And that's what they want. They want you to trust them. Okay? But as soon as one or two things happen, you call them out because the mask that they were wearing, that fake persona that they had showed you. Although, let me back this up just in case there's anybody new. The mask that they introduced you to, this wonderful, sweet person, was a reflection of who you are. They mirrored you to show you how amazing you are. The reason why the mask starts to slip is because once they get you to trust them and they gain your trust, that's when they begin to show you who they really are. Okay? Mean-spirited, self-centered, selfish, controlling, and manipulative. You just didn't see the signs, okay? But then you start to see certain things. You start getting this gut feeling. You start saying something is not right here. You begin to be like, like I told you about Luther Vandross, he had this one curl and it just didn't curl all the way. So you begin to say, hey, what's going on? You start asking questions. They don't like that because they want you to sign up for abuse. They don't want you questioning them. They wanted you to fall for what they showed you and what they really about. They don't want you to question them. That's what the abuse is about. They want to control you and your gifts and what you do. So when you start questioning them, that's when the gaslighting begins. When they sit here and tell you what's wrong with you, when ain't nothing wrong with you, it's them showing you who they are, but they got to give you reasonable doubt. Now, at this point, they know that what they're doing, they didn't secure you all the way. So what they do is, at this point, they're going to start to discard you, meaning they're not going to really contact you. Now, the reason for this is because you ain't the only person that they played this on. Okay? They got other people lined up that they run in the same game on by using their personality, but also bringing to the table what they got from you so that they can secure other supply. Now that's women, men as well. And some of them are bisexual. Okay? But they gonna run that game. Now, does the supply know about you? That is a two-part question. Some of them do and some of them don't. It all depends on the narcissist and what game they're running. Okay? Now, the new supply that's coming in, you remember when I told you about smear campaigns? So they'll go and tell the new person, oh yeah, I just got out of this relationship. This person, they did me wrong. They hurt me. They was aggressive. They'll say all kinds of lies about you. And that's giving them an excuse to be able to move on to the next supply. So they'll tell them all kinds of things. So at this point, when they had put you to the side, they put you on a timeout. You know, like how when a kid starts acting up and you got to give them a timeout for their behavior. See, that's what the narcissist would do to you while they're going to secure another supply. Because at this point, they don't know if they want to keep you, creep on you, or let your ass go. Okay? Point blank and period. So what they do is they'll tell the new supply these things about you. Now, you have no clue what the hell is going on. Okay? So now what winds up happening is, let's say you start trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Remember, like Waldo, you like, where the heck is Waldo? You know, you searching for Waldo. It's like Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. Because you got to find out, like, what's going on. Ooh, ooh. And then you like the Blues Clues. So you're trying to put everything together. And then, you know, you might go Sesame Street and be like, the count and be like, I ain't talked to this person in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. You know what I'm saying? So then what winds up happening is while you're texting or leaving voicemail messages, however method that you guys communicate in the beginning stage of the love bombing, what they're doing is they're showing the new supply what you're saying. So if you cussing them out, that new supply know about it. Okay? If you're saying, what's up, what's going on, that narcissist is sitting over there telling them, oh, she just won't leave me alone. I don't know what's going on with her. I done left her. I done did all these other things. Knowing he ain't left. Only thing he did was just put you on a timeout. While he's sitting over here spending time, or her, with the next supply. Okay? So now, one or two things is going to happen. Either you're going to let the relationship go and tell them to kiss your ass. Okay, or they're going to cut you loose to go kick it with the new supply. Or that new supply going to reach out to you and ask you and stick up for this narcissist because now they in a relationship with them and they feel like the narcissist is being too soft and being too nice, and they gonna try to come in and try to break up the relationship on behalf of the narcissist, because the narcissist is a pussy, is a punk, point blank and period. They not gonna do the dirty work. They gonna hire somebody else to do it, whether it's a flying monkey, a family member, or you know, that supply. That's one scenario. The second scenario is no, the new supply don't have no idea about you. Now, let me tell you why I say there's two scenarios. Because the first time when they did that crap, you know, they wanted to get rid of you. So you went away hurt, okay, and decided, I'm not going to deal with this person no more. But then you remember I told you they hoover, which means they try to get you back, to suck you back in, because it didn't work out with that supply. Or they want you and the new supply to rotate between back and forth. Okay? Or they want to put you into the rotation of all the other supply that they have. Because you got to remember, a narcissist can be like a bee. Okay? Going from one flower to the next flower, to the next flower, to the next flower, to the next flower, to the next flower. Because at the end of the day, they only thinking about themselves and how they can position themselves in a good, secure position. Money, popularity, you know, they want to be the it factor, if you will. So the second scenario of what I'm telling you is this. If they decide to want to come around the mountain again and try to get into your good graces by sucking up to you, because you got to remember that love bombing, they know how you work, how you tick, because you spilled the tea. You told them everything you like, from the good to the bad, from the rooter to the tutor. You let that narcissist know these things. And then they figured out and maneuvered how the hell they was going to work the system, work their game, and make you a participant in it. You just didn't realize what was going on. So does the new supply? No, not always. Because they run a game on that supply just like they ran game on you. And sometimes you do have the scenario to where you do have some of these thirsty women and sometimes these thirsty men that they don't care that you got somebody else. They want to be down. So the scenario can work one and two ways. Yes, sometimes they do know. Sometimes they do not know. Because they playing a game on you and they playing a game on them and whoever else this narcissist has brought into his scenario of his game playing. Because a narcissist, all they want to do is be a player. They want to be a pimp. And they just trying to see how many women or men that they can get over there to fall for their game. They know how it works because you told them. You spilled the tea. Now, did you do that knowing that this person was a narcissist? No. How could you know when somebody sat over there and conned you in the first place? They pretended to be something that they wasn't. So that's not your fault. But it is a lesson for you to understand. You don't tell everybody everything, even if with on meeting them. Talking about you click, that's fine. You don't have to disclose all your information to somebody because you got to get to know this person. And if you are willing to always be open like that, you're going to open yourself to being hurt. There's nothing wrong with being who you are and being open, but you can't let everybody in. You got to remember, just because people are friendly, they ain't your friend. Some people are coming into your life because they got motives. Real motives. And they ain't studying you like that. They want to use you. They want to see you broken down because they're jealous. Or they're broken. Or some of them may feel like they damaged goods because somebody made them feel like that. So now they're going around carrying that and having a repeated cycle of something that was never meant for them in the first place. But they could not get the thought. They could not receive that something is better because of the occurrences and things that happen in their life. So yes, there are times when supply knows and they don't care. You know how they say you can't turn a hoe into a housewife? That goes for a man and a woman. But you also have some genuine people that they don't even know. They sitting over there trusting the narcissist just like you did. They have no clue. The only time they have a clue that something is not right is when they get a red flag like you did. And at that point, that's when the narcissist needs to decide which one of these supplies is he going to want. Now, if you a strong individual and he couldn't break your ass down, your ass was probably the one that got let go. He going to always try to go for the person that's going to give him what he want because he see them as weak. He just couldn't make you weak. Or you dumped that ass and told him to kiss it. So to answer your question, it can work both ways. So I hope that this helped the young lady who asked the question, but I'm also hoping that this helps anyone who needed to know the answer to this question because, you know, a lot of people may have wanted to know this or wasn't sure how it worked. And I hope that I gave you some information that will help you to understand that it works two ways. Sometimes they know and sometimes they don't know. You know, it's like an almond bar. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It all depends on the game that the narcissist is playing. Because you got to remember, it's his game that he's playing on you. And for those of you who have come out on the other side or going through the process, this is something that you're learning to understand how narcissists roll. But also at the same time, you're learning what not to allow in your life. So like I said, this lesson was a blessing in disguise. It may not feel like it, baby girl and baby boy, let's just keep it real. But it was, because in the long run, it helped you to up your game. It helped you to see how valuable you are. But it also helped you to understand that you are loved. Now, you may not receive or gotten everything that it is that you wanted right now. But now that you went through this stage, you're going to understand what you're going to receive and what you're not going to receive and what you're not going to stand for. But you're not going to do it in a rude way. And no, you don't even have to explain yourself to anyone about your experience of what you went through. Unless you really get to know this person to see if they have a good motive or they just like the last person you dealt with. So you know not to waste your time. Now remember, you are destined for greatness. You are somebody. You are talented. You are skilled. You are loved. You are cared for. You are wonderful. You are beautiful. You are handsome to all my dudes. You are a king. You are a queen. So don't have your head down low. Lift it up. Put your royal crown on. It may have been crooked, but now you're going to make it straight. And you're going to walk in your royalty, because that's who you are. This did not change who you are. It made you better. And for those of you who have not been validated, you are validated here. You are welcome here. I love you even though I don't know you. And if you have any more questions, please feel free, to drop it in the comment box, in the videos, because I do read them. And if I can't get to your question right away, I will do the best that I can. Y'all be blessed. Y'all have a good day. And remember, you're destined for greatness.